The miscues are back for our last and final video in our three-part series of analyzing miscues. Our first video discussed what exactly miscues are. Our second video focused on marking miscues on a running record. And this video will discuss what to do with your miscue data and how to analyze it so you can provide a more targeted intervention plan for your students. This data was gathered from the running record we showed in our last video. We broke up our data into three main miscue sections. The first is the meaning section, and in this section, our student frequently changed the meaning of words when he read. For example, the student reads box instead of books, we instead of me, and right instead of with. This results in a 75% for a change in the meaning of a word, and 25% in no change in meaning after analyzing all of the meaning miscues. The second is the structure. And in this section, even though the student frequently changes the meaning of words when he reads, the words he reads sounds right in the sentences when he reads them. For example, he reads, I like class instead of I like school, and me like the story instead of we like the story. This results in a 50-50 split for acceptable and unacceptable use of language structurally. And the third and final section is the visual section. And in this section, the student relied on visual cues in the initial and medial sounds when reading words, resulting in a 40-40 split and then a 20% in the final word sounds when reading. Because the student is relying primarily on visual cues when reading, the best support would be to provide intervention with a focus on meaning and structure. Providing targeted intervention to support meaning miscues looks like the teacher providing students with opportunities to analyze words and sentences and frequently asking, does this word make sense? Some examples include having students use words in context to see if they make sense by using word substitution in and out of sentences. Another example is teaching context clues to help figure out the meaning of words so that they are used correctly in sentences. Another one is using pictures to convey meaning of unknown words. Another example is using graphic organizers such as KWL charts, connection webs, and even anticipation guides to help support the meaning of words that they do not understand. Also, asking questions such as, does the word fit? What information do the illustrations provide? And, of course, does the word make sense? Are all good examples to help support meaning miscues. Providing targeted intervention to support structure miscues looks like the teacher providing students with the opportunity to ask themselves, does this word sound right? So students make sense of the actual words and sentences. Some examples include sentence manipulation, such as moving words around in sentences to see what makes sense. Another is sentence reconstruction, using a familiar read so students have an idea of how sentences should sound from the beginning. Also, practicing sentence structure so that students know the parts of a sentence and why they are important. Another great activity is covering up words and sentences and having students guess what the word could be, then asking questions such as, when I covered up the word in the text, how do you know that the word would be appropriate? Or, when I was reading and left out a word, how did you know what word was in the text? These are all examples on how to support structure miscues. We have attached suggestions and links to resources you can use to help you support your students after analyzing miscues. Hope this was helpful and hope you enjoyed.